And thank you for inviting the women to come. Yes. So, good afternoon. Now, I am Jean Blois, and I have lived just a mile and a half north of here.
Excuse me.
Since 1964. And I have witnessed, anyway, I have lived here a long time, long before Maravilla was even thought of. And so I'm going to describe Maravilla's early days. Any and all visitors to Maravilla's reception center meet our most amazing Monica, an almost indescribable employee who somehow manages to help everyone and keep things moving. Believe you me, we count the days when she's coming back from one of her well-deserved vacations. Monica started here on December 12th, 2003, the day Maravilla opened officially. The first part of the day, she was stationed in the clubhouse as the little brass tacks in the leather wall next to her desk were not all put in. But by the time they finished putting in the last brass tack, Monica moved over and started registering our new residents. The first residents were built in the cottages on the North Parkway, next to the wall from the neighborhood. And some of those first people moving in were Chuck and Jean Wagner, and also the George Wilsons. The 4 cottages for residents on that north roadway were finished long before the casita's pool was even excavated. There was simply a strong fence around the dirt. On to the true history. Forget some of the wild rumors that have circulated for many years. Widmark, a local contracting company, first bought this 20-plus acre site from the family of the former truck farmer who had passed away. A truck farm grows fast-growing annual crops like lettuce, small green onions, celery, no trees. So many people think this was a lemon orchard before. No, it was not a lemon orchard. There were no trees on these particular 20 acres. Widmark started making plans to build an age-in-place facility, originally working with the Rehab Institute, but for some reason they lost interest in the plan. In the late 1990s, Widmark was finishing building the Camino Real shopping center. Widmark likes to buy, build, and hold. It was committed to helping relieve the current housing shortage by building age-in-place communities, thus allowing empty nesters the unique opportunity to sell their large family homes to young developing families and enjoy living in a inviting, vibrant community until they reached the point of needing more help without having to make another move. Winmark was busy designing such a community with a definite Spanish flavor and selling it to the community. This was a most necessary step, as the neighborhood directly to our north, outside our wall, Patterson Avenue Neighborhood Association, PANA for short, announced loud and clear that they did not want anything at all ever built on these 20 acres. Doreen Farr was a very effective spokesperson for PANA. Senior Resource Group had an excellent reputation in the field of age-in-place facilities. SRG really liked Winmark's design, and SRG became the operating partner. This relationship lasted a little over a year. SRG wanted to incorporate privately, and Winmark did not approve. At that point, Winmark sold its share to SRG, and I know nothing about anything of the financial arrangements for that. The county of Santa Barbara issued all of the permits, as the city of Goleta was not yet incorporated. The 167 conditional use permits came from the county, with the constant extreme scrutiny by PANA. Doreen Farr was an excellent proponent of PANA's views. This parcel was not level. Where buildings A, B, and C are today was much lower than the Casitas area. SRG scraped 6 feet of topsoil from the Casitas area and spread it over the west end to make a nice level building pad. This was required according to the originally designed and approved plans. Goleta was incorporated in 2002 while construction was still going on. A few changes were made, mainly to protect the monarch butterflies. Construction was shut down on the A, B, and C buildings facing the creek for 3 months in order to protect the monarchs. While some residents, when some residents asked me how the name was chosen, I asked Mark Eagles, who is one of Winmark's partners, and he said that Winmark wanted as unique a Spanish-flavored word as possible. In their research, they found Maravilla, which means wonder and amaze in the masculine form, and something incredible in the feminine version. This is the Mexican version of Spanish. Another complete fallacy is the question of the unchanged zip code. I have here a very, very tired map of the incorporation of the city of Goleta. which I used when we were trying to incorporate, which was a long struggle. And it clearly shows that Maravilla and the fire station are in the city of Goleta. The Postal Service now steps in with its mandate that the zip code can never, ever be changed. I was a member of the Goleta City Council when I moved here. Believe me, my mail came to Goleta 93111 because I was sure there would be questions about why I was a member of the City Council of Goleta when I lived at a Santa Barbara address. The name Abyssinia is totally irrelevant to the post office. All they care about is the number of the zip code. So you can put anything you want above 93111 and it will get here, especially with our wonderful postman, Iraf. I saw him this morning and I said, "How long have you been with us?" And he says, "Well, I started in 2004, so it's been a long time. We've had that wonderful postman." So are there any other questions?
Gene, do you believe that the Maravilla development would have ever been approved if it wasn't started while the county had jurisdiction? In other words, would the city of Goleta have approved this development?
Doubtful.
That's what I think too.
Someone said that there was a shopping center proposed before the retirement facility, and that the people surrounding the area didn't favor that after having a truck farm there for so long. Is that just a rumor?
Possibly, but I mean, those people didn't want the fire station built there either, till they realized that maybe having a fire station close by was a good thing.
Tell us about the underground parking problem.
Well, at one point, that was suggested, but of course, the water table here was not, I mean, this current drought would probably be safe, but the water table is quite high, and an underground parking situation would be flooded a lot of the time. So,
Was it the city that canceled that, or the county?
was one of the two. Probably the county, because the county actually approved all the plans.
I see, thank you.
So why did they not use covered parking as they did over at the Casitas out here behind the B building?
I have no idea. It was a decision made by, who knows, maybe the county, maybe the developers, I do not know.
Jean, remember the neighborhood was so opposed of the building of this property? You remember that?
Oh yes, Panna hated it.
It was quite a battle, wasn't it?
Yes. A very, very bad
Would you
battle.
like to expand on that?
Well, as I mentioned, there are 167 conditional demands on this building permit. For instance, Maravilla had to build that lovely tile bus stop right outside the gate. And they also have to maintain the median on Calle Real all the way to Patterson forever. And are times when they want things. Oh, there was a lot of discussion about the signal at our entrance. A lot of discussion about how to handle the traffic. And I mean, you know, they could find things wrong with anything you can imagine. So that was a long problem. And it's just, the county made it. Well, PATA was there at every decision the county made. I tried to find out if Doreen Farr was maybe a county planning commissioner at the time, but the records didn't go back that far for me to find out, because I'm not that expert at technology.
Gene, there's a road in back of Maravilla Merida that comes right up to a rear gate for the property. Was that ever conceived of as a formal or even an informal auto entrance? Do you know?
The fire department demands 2 entrances to any property, and so it is a place where the grass in front of it has heavy steel wire so that fire trucks can safely drive over it, and the gate does open.
Has San Jose Creek ever flooded? I notice a lot of support along the walls.
Probably in some very wet year before, but and our San Jose Creek is western San Jose Creek, and eastern San Jose Creek is over the other side of Patterson, and they meet just about at the freeway and go down, and that's San Jose Creek through Old Town and under Hollister Avenue and out to the ocean.
Didn't you tell me at one time they were required to dig lower so that things didn't get too high?
Yes, but that was wrong. That was a rumor that flew around here forever, but it was because the plans showed that they wanted a level pad, and it was so much lower over here into the casitas that that's why they moved to 6 feet.
Anyone else? Well, this has been very helpful, hasn't it? Yeah. Thank you very much, Gene.